Part 3, Elements of Sin. Produced by Black Bottom James at BKK Productions. Theme: Jesus is real. The next largest attraction or distraction for men is women, the helpmate God placed on earth to assist men. Well, this helpmate has been associated in the demise and failure of mankind, was the woman. Woman initiated the downfall of mankind by her conversing and influence with Satan, structuring a plan enacted by Satan, with Satan sequencing events for the anarchy and chaos causing the disruption between man and God. God had evaluated and assessed his decision regarding man, as he was on the brink of completing his final assessment, securing man's future. However, sin caused a betrayal, interrupting the relationship between man and God. Yet, man still adores and reveres woman with all her attributes, as he is smitten by her ascetic beauty and exquisiteness. The two were meant in sharing this earth, as one, although, through sin, making this existence a living hell, but by love, traits of the Garden of Eden. Woman was created for man, with both having an enduring appeal for each other. Man has been enchanted and enthralled by her demeanor and captivated an electable propitiousness and lucidness, only visible by him. If there are videos or pictures displaying the exploits of women sitting in a rocking chair, waiting for a bus or driving a car, men will be watching. Anywhere women are, making their presence known, there will be man lurking around trying to get attention or looking to see what he can see. Men don't need a special reason in viewing of woman on display, and women will be displaying, especially if it is someone new. Men will be around watching, checking out that body. Women are the primary reason for men having problem with everything. The placement of a woman will distract, divert, and engage man's attention, regardless of what activity of engagement disturbing his focus and concentration. I do not know what God placed in man for the intensity for woman. It is still working 3,000 years plus, and has not decimated its passion, captivation, and memorization of our focus and efforts on garnering the attention of women. If there is anyone to blame for man employing and retaining this obsession for women, it's God. He did it to us, and I love him for it, although God has purpose for this dogmatic salubrious of arabesque. There is an attractiveness, lure, or desirability in keep them adjoining or immediate, in close proximity, stimulating and provoking a yearning and craving, creating a magnetism of sensation of consciousness, abounding in awareness, stirring our passion and numbing our fears of uncertainties and reservations. Nothing else comes close to arousing the attention man has for woman, whether in comparison to all other pursuits, endeavors, or interest. A woman is essential in the elation and pleasure equation. Man loves women so intensely, it presents a restive refractory problem. A sin has been committed. Sin is having uncontrollable urge in committing an emotional picture of unbridled physical activities of exuberance, no different than the actual physical elements of the act. Well, join the single most prevalent act of portrayal defined by the male genera, in its most pleasing and enjoyable state. Well, God don't take too kindly to this X-rated extravaganza, unless there is a ring on the finger. It is counted as sin, just the envisioning of a scantily dressed woman, bare-breasted, exposing nearly all, is enough. It is nearly impossible in controlling the genes of over 5,000 years of prenuptial anticipation and eagerness, without imply any matrimonial suggestions. This is the most arduous, complex and impervious task derived and delivered, lacking the inability in following commandment of this journey, shameful, shameful, shameful. Any man able to confront this imperious journey without sustaining continuous defeat, within the first 3 minutes, is an iron man having my ultimate respect, if he is a real man. Yet, I remind us, for those determined in following God's law, it is mandatory and unyielding. There are limitations associated with women and the expectation of women in meeting the desires of men. Men will create tales of an exceptional lifestyle, going to exotic places and being transported in luxurious automobiles and planes, seeking her attention before she finds out he is only factory worker, with 9-to-5 job, turning a wrench, but has ambitions. We can create visions of extravagance and lavishness in getting her attention. Yet, the reality of his dream is only an elegance created and imagined for your approval and consideration, in offering the best he doesn't have, but only for you. However, it is still a sin, not in what man says, but what man wants, in completing this journey into an ecstasy, elation and gratification. However, some men are not willing to take the more pleasurable route of getting to know a woman he admires and only sees attractive. He takes a more vicious and malicious route of taking what he is not as to have, presenting a problem for the woman and him. Yet, others uses this aggression and hostility on woman for self-appeasement. This is sinful and is not conducive to God's law. Although, if man takes the other route and forms a relationship with the woman and has her approval of his advancements, it is still a sin, for both, yet deemed acceptable. There will be no sexual intercourse without marriage. Man has an attraction for women exceeding all else he has for any other thing. This attraction will sometimes last forever, without abating, fading, never diminishing or subsiding. This attraction is continuously needing and wanting to be near or in close proximity to a woman. When we are caught just staring at a woman, it is for a reason. We are desperately gathering outside, maintain control of this raging bull inside, daring to be released. Just so you know, but we do, we can't and we want, release those urges, controlling and restraining this beast inside, just challenging, to be a man. Just so you are aware of the laws, if man ponders, contemplates or imagines himself having sexual intercourse with any woman, in his mind, God considers it as an actuality and will be charged with violating his laws. God knew the violation of these laws were not going to be abided and accepted by man, which is why he brought us a Savior. This is a constant violation of God's law and not man's law. Yet, man does not have the authority in condoning these out-of-wedlock associations and relations. Thereby, man has broken God's law. God made these laws of sexual intercourse only for a married couple and for the reason of continuation of man, but through marriage and family, which is the foundation of the purpose of the placement of man on earth. Man was supposed to build, organize and love his family, establishing an example for the next generation of getting married, having babies, building a family. Yet, now, with so many people getting a divorce, families are broken apart with children being raised, mostly by mothers, without a father in the home, seeing the resulting situation of the American family.